everybody, how you doing today? I hope you're doing great. We're in Nashville, Tennessee, and you can't come to Nashville unless you come to the Grand Ole Opry. And we're going to walk around, take a look, go into the gift shop. Before we do that, I wanted to give you a little bit of history on the Opry. It's the stage that showcases country music's past, present, and future. It's been the home to this art form's growth and evolution for over 98 years. In 1925, a radio-loving founder of National Life and Accidental Insurance Company convinced the company to launch its own radio station, WSM, named after their slogan, "We Shield Millions." National Life built a small studio with a window in its downtown Nashville office, and WSM went live for the first time on October 5, 1925. A month after the first show, National Life hired George D. Hay, a prominent announcer and program director known for his national barn dance at WLS in Chicago. He launched the barn dance with Uncle Jimmy Thompson, a 77-year-old fiddle player, on November 28, 1925, widely known as the day the Grand Ole Opry was born. In December of 27, following an NBC broadcast of Walter Damrosch's Music Appreciation Hour, George Hay proclaimed on the air, "For the past hour, you've been listening to the music taken largely from the Grand Opera, but from now on we'll present the Grand Ole Opry." The new name stuck for the WSM Barn Dance. Some of the Grand Ole Opry's most historic moments happened inside the Ryman Auditorium downtown on Main Street. Hank Williams made his debut there, Patsy Cline, Loretta Lynn, Willie Nelson, Jeannie Seeley, who still performs there nightly, and Dolly Parton joined the family. Elvis made his only appearance there. Johnny Cash became a member, met his wife there, and during one of the infamous shows broke all the footlights on the front stage inside the Ryman. The Opry broadcast its last Friday night show from the Ryman on March 15, 1974. George Morgan closed out the show with Candy Kisses. After the Opry that night, Johnny and June Carter Cash sang "Will the Circle Be Unbroken." The next night, Roy Acuff opened the first show in the new 4,400-seat Grand Ole Opry House right here with the performance of the Wabash Cannonball. President Richard Nixon was in attendance and led the Opry audience in singing "Happy Birthday" to Pat Nixon. The night featured a packed lineup so that each artist could only sing one song. The Opry House gave the show more space and facilities necessary to grow and evolve. It was televised live for the first time on March 4, 1978 as part of a PBS fundraiser special, but the show wouldn't start regular television broadcasts till 1985. The family kept growing and adding giants like the Gatlin Brothers, John Conley, Ricky Skaggs, Lorrie Morgan, Reba McEntire, Randy Travis, and Patty Loveless. The 90s brought some of the Opry's more monumental moments like Minnie, Pearl, and Jimmy Dickens celebrating their 50th anniversary with the show. Roy Acuff made his final Opry performance one month before he passed away. Charlie Pride, Garth Brooks, Alan Jackson, Vince Gill, Emmylou Harris, Martina McBride, Diamond Rio, and Trisha Yearwood were also welcomed into the family. Throughout the 2000s, the show and its cast paid tribute to fallen members like Hank Williams, Waylon Jennings, and Minnie Pearl. In 2002, the Opry celebrated its 4,000th Saturday night broadcast, and the family continued to grow, adding Brad Paisley, Dierks Bentley, Trace Adkins, Carrie Underwood, Montgomery Gentry, and many others. In May of 2010, the venue was ravaged by an historic flood that forced the Opera House to close its doors for 5 months for restoration. The show passed on to other venues in Nashville that included the War Memorial and the Ryman. The Opera House was beautifully restored, and the show made its triumphant return on September 28th of the same year. The Grand Ole Opry celebrated 40 years at the Opera House on March 16, 2014, with an all-star cast led by the Old Crow Medicine Show and performances by some of country's biggest names. In 2015, the show celebrated its 90th anniversary with the star-studded weekend-long birthday bash. In 2010, it brought Blake Shelton, Keith Urban, Darius Rucker, the Old Crow Medicine Show, Little Big Town, and many more to the Opry family. In March of 2020, COVID forced the Grand Ole Opry to make the hard decision to temporarily cancel live audience shows. In an historic moment for the Opry, the Saturday night Grand Ole Opry broadcast live without an audience via live stream. The show continued to broadcast live on WSM Radio and Circle TV, which launched in January of 2020, keeping the music playing in the Circle. After 7 months of performing without an audience, in October of 2020, the Opry kicked its 95th anniversary by welcoming back 500 guests to the Opry House, and so began a month-long celebration of the Opry, country music, its artists, and its fans. The Opry family continues to grow and add people like Rhonda Vincent, Lady Antebellum, Carly Pearce, Lauren Elena, and many other individuals for the last few years. With its untouchable legacy of being the longest-running radio show in history and shaping and sharing the genre, the most illustrious family of artists in the industry, and an ardent global audience, after almost 100 years, the Opry continues to be the true home of country music. I've been here a couple times to see the concerts. Just try walking this way. With the giant guitars. And up to the front, they do have a shop. And I know that they do have tours. Pretty, very pretty. Opry Mills is over here to the right. And of course the Gaylord Opry Resort is to the left. Remember I told you the parking was $35? That didn't include tax. It was almost $40. That was the Gaylord Resort. Let's see what it says. Okay, all persons, bags, oversized. Well, that's not me. No weapons. No audio or video recording. Okay. So, of course, let's go look in the shop. There's June and Johnny right there. Let's see what's over here. Speaking of Barbara Mandrell, look how tiny. This is one of her dresses. It said she wore this when she swept the 1982 People's Choice Awards for Favorite All-Around Female Entertainer, TV Personality, and famous musical performance. She played tons of instruments. This was worn by Billy Ray Cyrus in his Achy Breaky Heart video. I hope you enjoyed that quick trip to the Grand Ole Opry, just to see the grounds. It's one of my favorites, Ricky Skaggs. I've seen him in concert several times. Right here's Opry Mills. But hope you enjoyed it. Have a blessed day. Thanks for watching.